Hello everyone, welcome to this little video about Flow. I get some question about some of my live streaming where I was using Flow, and some people was asking what is Flow, why use it, and stuff like that. So I was thinking about just making a little video about that and why I'm loving it. And now I cannot almost live without it. So what is Flow? Flow, it's a library created by the Facebook open source stuff. So again, a project for from Facebook. And Flow, it's a static type checker for JavaScript. So what mean static type? It's a type checker finally for your JavaScript. So what it's type? It's like checking your object, checking your array, checking your number and stuff like that. If you came from like a Java background or other language like maybe Golang or something like that, where you need to type all your stuff, that you're gonna be home with Flow type. So the Flow is gonna be almost looks like TypeScript. TypeScript is another type checker, but the thing is, I think for me, I'm loving more Flow because it's more easy to set up, and I mean it go really well with React. So for starting with Flow, we're gonna just check the try, and the try. So I don't know why the try get to this point. I think it's just because I've tried to do some setup. Let's go. Okay. So one sec. We're gonna see some stuff about Flow. So that's gonna be the syntax about Flow. It's really important to understand this thing. Flow go over your JavaScript. You don't change your JavaScript. You go over. If you don't flow something, your JavaScript code gonna still work. You don't gonna bring nothing. Flow is just a type checker. It's just a development tool. It's for you and your team. Why I'm loving Flow? It's because I write a lot of code sometimes on some project and I want to change some stuff, but Flow can really help me to don't create new problem. What I mean by that, it's example, you have an array. I'll work with your array, you do follow over that, you did everything you want with the array, was good. Someone came to your project, changed this array to be an object, or change it to be, example, a number, and now everything is breaking. Why? It's because, I mean, for each example, for each method, it's a prototype of the array. It's not a prototype of a string or a number. So that's why. And Flow is going to be a tool for you to really help you in your development process. It's almost like ESLint with a linter check. We're going to check your semicolon stuff and, example, your fatal errors, stuff like that. But Flow is going to be really helpful for you with all your code. Example, here we see how Flow works. It's a function. So I'm gonna just make it simple. So this is a function normal. First thing, we add at the top Flow, really important. This way we told JavaScript we're gonna use Flow. After that, here, this is a function. Here what I want, it's maybe I want to console log, and here I'm gonna console log my foo. I'm gonna say hello. It's gonna work. I mean, I don't think we can see console log, but you see what I mean. It worked. Now here I can say .len. It's gonna still work. I think if I say 3 here, Flow gonna understand. Then that cannot work because length cannot be found on a number. You see? So foo can really help you with this thing. So how we can set up that? It's example, we know this foo stuff gonna always have a string here and gonna always return a string. So here, x equal a string, and we return a string. If I want to return an object, I can say right there. But this thing, it's a string. Like that. So x gonna be always a string. So now if I call foo and I pass hello, I'm gonna have no problem. But now if I pass 3, hey, x, it's supposed to be a string, and you pass a number. Something it's wrong with that. I mean, you're not supposed to, you see it's just gonna be a string. So this is really helpful for that. If I say that's gonna be a number, now this thing gonna be accept, but the thing is we cannot return a number. So here I can maybe say hello, and now it's gonna work. So I will tell you to do some tests on this try editor and just see how Flow work. So it's flow.org. But now, how can we set up that inside a text editor? So I'm going to open Visual Studio Code on one of my projects, and I'm going to show you. You need one thing to install, It's Flow. Flow language support, blah, blah, blah. The only thing you need, FlowType. So this is how you can set up that with Visual Studio Code. But for this tutorial, I'm going to use Atom Beta for using Atom IDE, the new package Facebook and Atom have created. So Atom IDE. So this thing right there, the new thing. If you use Atom IDE like me, you're going to need the beta version of Atom and also IDE FlowType. If you don't use Atom IDE and you use Atom, just use this library, Flow IDE, nothing more. After that, you're going to need to create a new project where we're going to need some library. We're going to need Babel CLI, Babel plugin transform FlowType Stripe. Why these two library? It's because Flow is going to put code over your code. So example, if I go there and I create my function called foo x, return x, and here I say foo with hello, like that. And now here I say x, it's a number example, something like that. And now I go there and I run my index.js. I'm gonna get an error. I say, hey, it's a new expected token. Like I told you, Flow, we're gonna add some stuff on top of JavaScript, but this stuff, it's not real JavaScript. So that's why when you're gonna set up your Babel RC, you need to put this plugin, transform FlowType Stripe. And after that, when you're gonna run your project, the thing you're gonna need is to run that with Babel node index.js. So make sure you have Babel CLI for having this Babel node. After that, install FlowBin by doing, so all what I show is inside dev, so FlowBin, like that. So FlowBin, it's gonna be the way to set up Flow. So what I always do, it's here I say Flow init, and after that you just say, so I'm gonna just delete that, you're gonna see how that work. Now if I say yarn flow, you're gonna create for me this flow config file with nothing. And after that I change that to be flow check. So now by doing yarn flow, you're gonna check my error like you see on the Facebook stuff. But now you maybe say, yeah, but here you say X and a number. Yeah, but I need to tell flow first by doing this. Now by doing that, I'm gonna receive an error right there by my text editor will say, hey, here, it's not supposed to work. Why? Because you see, we inspect a type of number, but you add a string. So that's why Flow can be really awesome. And so we're gonna just do a simple project, nothing crazy. We're gonna just see how Flow works. So with Flow, we have array, like that, where we can put, example, an object, or you can create your object right there. Also, we have number, we have string, we have any will mean any, we have date, and we have, I think, did I say number? No, okay. And you can create a type, almost like we do on Golang. I see that on Golang too. So, yeah, I'm gonna create a type of user with a name, who's gonna be a string. It's gonna have a country, who's gonna be a string. It's gonna have an age, it's gonna be a number. So now here I just create an object called user, a type user. So here I'm gonna say cons Bob, who's gonna be a type of user, it's gonna be an object. Just by doing this and I save, I'm gonna get 3 errors right there. A, age, country name are not in the subject. Why? The type here say, hey, this type gonna always have a name, gonna always have a country, and gonna always have an age. Yeah, but maybe I don't want to put nothing on this user. What I'm gonna say is if you put that here, and that here, now all gonna work. Why? So here is the syntax when you want to say this type can be undefined. Undefined means it's not gonna be there. But another thing you're gonna maybe see is this thing like that. Now here I'm gonna say property age not found. So what mean this thing here? Mean that's gonna be a number who can be nullable. So what I mean by that, it's here I can say age, null, and it's gonna work. And now if I say age is gonna be 3, it's gonna still work. But now if I say it's gonna allow, now I'm gonna have an error because age is supposed to be a number. So you see now how Flow can really help all your code by providing error right inside my development processing. I don't need to run my code to see error. Flow, it's awesome for that, and I really love it on big projects. So now I can create my object. I'm gonna say Bob, country, I'm gonna say USA, and I'm gonna say you have a name of Bob. Perfect, like that. So now when I'm gonna have all the autocomplete. You see here I get Bob dot age blah 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 name and all the value what you can do with an object. So now I can say Bob dot name dot now with all autocomplete coming in, because now Flow gonna really help you to autocomplete. If you came again from a background of Java or Golang, something like that, we have so many autocomplete. It's not like, because I mean it's easy for this language to have autocomplete because they know which type something's gonna be. But in JavaScript, because we use dynamic typing, what I mean by that is we can have a string, a variable who is gonna be a string somewhere, it's gonna be a number somewhere. But now with Flow, you just make sure. And now I can say example.length, and it's gonna work. But now if I say for each with a method for an array, I'm gonna return an array because for each is not a prototype of the string. You see? So now what I'm gonna do to it, I'm gonna create another type called user, who's gonna be an array of user, like that. I'm gonna say const bob2. So I'm gonna just finally copy that. I'm gonna say bob2, and I'm gonna say, I'm gonna close this thing, and I'm gonna say const user equal an array of bob1 and bob2. And now if I say not bob1 but bob, now if I say user dot, so it's an array, so here we can have for each. Now I can say user, and now look what is gonna happen, because Flow understand user is that. So now I can pin this thing and see. Now I know, okay, so this is user. So now I can say user.h. I can console log this thing if I want, and it's going to work. So make sure you have the command start with Babel node index.js. Go to your command and say yarn start 3.3. I have no error because I get that from here. So now I'm gonna just delete my pin, and now what I'm gonna say, it's example here. You can maybe say, oh, I can say that here we want to get the length of the name, but I'm gonna say name can be null, and I'm gonna say here bob1 is gonna be null. Now if here I want to say console log user.name.length. Now why my autocomplete don't came? If you get that, ask you a question, and that's gonna be strictly because length cannot be accessible on a possibility null value. So here I will have bug, because look here what's gonna happen if I start. Man, Flow, it's awesome. You just see, man, I don't need to run my code and lose this 2 seconds of my precious life. So now what you can do for making sure that's gonna work, we're gonna say if user.name it's not null, like that. Now I can take it and put it right there. And now if I go to my iTurn and I run it, now it worked. So you see the power of FlowType can save your life. It's just crazy. I don't need to run my code. I can just keep on my IDE, my text editor, whatever or you call it, and code and code and code and give the project, give what the client asks, etc., and have less bug. So when someone change here and then say, hey, country here, I mean, someone came here, I'm gonna say country is gonna be a number here. Oh, what is that? You see the error? It's gonna save your life. I'm gonna show you on one of my projects. So the project I'm working right now on the live coding. It's a cryptocurrency mobile app. What I'm gonna show you that it's all that can be really awesome to work with, example React and Redux and stuff like that. So how I work, and it's I create a type folder where I'm gonna put the type. Yes, you can have many files with the type. Why? It's because this way you have, first thing, you can modular use stuff, and other thing is it's gonna be easier to work with. So you just need to put the name export. So here I'm gonna say I have a type of holding data. I export this type. So you see here I have price, total pay, string, blah blah blah. So this thing, what I do, it's when I work at the front end example and I get something from the back end, I'm gonna take the console log of the value I'm gonna get from the back end, and I'm gonna paste it there, and I'm gonna just change all the value one by one. And this one I'm gonna make sure that I'm gonna always have the thing the backend almost send me, so I'm gonna know it's an array, blah blah blah. After that, I create an action file for my Redux action, where I can import my holding data. Remember, here you need to put type, because that's going to be a type. So you say import type, curly bracket, and you import your stuff. After that, I can create my action. And I can say, example, this action, add new holding action. I'm going to have a type of this thing. And now, example, if I change, I'm going to show you, you're going to see, if I change this action right there, and I change, I can show you, I have my holding data. So you see, first thing we have always autocomplete. I'm going to say Quinn. And now my action, what I'm doing here, it's a thing you're going to see. This thing means R. For example, you want to create a name who's going to be a type of string or a number. Now if I do this, I can say 3. But you see it work. Now it's just Yeslin who just go crazy about that. But now you see I can say 3, and I also can say hello. That means R. So here I create an action who's gonna have all my action. And after that, when I go to my reducer, for example, if I go to my reducer called cryptos, I import my action I just show you right there, where I got all my action, and Flow's gonna be smart enough to see action that type, and you're gonna get the case of what I have, and now I'm gonna have the autocomplete on my action. I'm gonna say that's Quinn dot ID. You see? So now that's gonna just help you all your process. And the awesome thing too is that's gonna work with a component. If you see here, I'm gonna create a type of props and a type of state, almost like you did with prop type, but now you can put that right there. So now is name here, it's a boolean because right there. So now if I change that to be a string, I'm gonna get an error because this thing here return a boolean. So all your code gonna just become more hard to break and stuff like that. So I just hope you enjoyed this little episode. I mean, I was just doing this for fun and just I want to help you guys like I was helped by someone else and stuff like that. So I think it's good to just put it there for helping people who want to start with this technology but just get overwhelmed with all the documentation. I'm not a guy of documentation, so that's why I'm doing video or I watch video. So I hope you enjoy, and we're gonna talk later. Have a good night. Bye.